Here we are in Washington, D.C., and it is shut down. But now here, it's both Pennsylvania's voice here in the U.S. Senate, even though we are in a different party. And we both want to talk about why we believe it's so important to reopen this government.
23 days, 12 votes. Senator Fetterman and I have both voted to open up the government. We agree on that 100%. It's really starting to hurt Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvanians, air traffic controllers, border patrol, and also 2 million recipients of SNAP. We've got to get the government open. That's our main responsibility. And I'd say that regardless of what party's in the majority.
So I think our votes are about country over party at this point. And now we have 2 million Pennsylvanians that rely on SNAP. That's gonna stop. And now you can reopen this government and have an earnest conversation about extending those tax credits. We know we're gonna participate in this process. That's why we both vote to open up our government. We're in a different party. We're on the same team for Pennsylvania and our nation.
Pennsylvanians expect it. Pennsylvanians deserve it.
Pack him up. Pack him up. They about to lock John Fetterman up. They about to throw him in jail. Hey, shout out to John Fetterman, man, because he seems like the only Democrat politician that's willing to actually admit the truth. And that is that this is the Democrats' fault. But I feel bad for him a little bit, right? Just a little bit. He is still a Democrat, and that's his own fault. But I feel bad for him a little bit because his party is about to primary the crap out of him. Boy, I tell you, if not lock him up, they about to try to find something on this man to lock him up. Okay. But anyway, I want to dive into a couple of things because what is happening is actually beautiful. Because this whole shutdown is absolutely backfiring on the Democrat Party right now in spectacular fashion. I mean, from top to bottom, from American citizens, to politicians on their own side, right? Like John Fetterman, people are calling out the Democrat Party, and it is absolutely amazing to see that their lies just no longer work anymore. Eventually, that party is going to have to get to actually having good policies and running on that. And I don't think we're crazy far away, right? Not crazy far away. I think that's going to come in 28, but this is going to be a major wake-up call. Check out this C-SPAN caller that recently called in who admits she's a Democrat, but what's happening is actually Democrats' fault. Let's dive in.
I'm, a retired federal worker, and I hear people talking about, the president needs to get involved, and the Democrats are saying this, the Republicans are saying this. This is the truth. The Democrats, and I'm a Democrat, are the ones that actually, in the Senate side, shut down the government. They did not vote for a continuing resolution except for 3 of them. One is the senator of Pennsylvania, Fetterman, and all. So they have to get together and stop holding an American hostage. We're about to have people without food come, November 1st, which is the end of this week. And that's ridiculous. It is not worth it. Plus, the health care companies have already said you're way past the deadline for them to change their costs that they're going to give out to the public for the health care. So, because November 1st is open season. So they need to get together. I know they keep on saying the president needs to come back, but the power of the purse is with the Congress, not the president. You all talk about this president being the king, but if you want him to solve this problem, you're making him a king. This has got to stop in America. I want the Democrats to fight, but I want them to fight in a negotiating way like I did when I was a union president versus sitting up here constantly bickering and the Republicans bickering. This has got to stop, and America has got to stop accepting it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
It's Lynn in Philly.
Boom. A Democrat herself just admitted that it's
Republicans.
Whoa. Not yet, brother. Not yet. Just admitted that it's her own party's fault that this is happening. She said that out of her own mouth. You heard it yourself. Now, I want to dive into a little bit more of this, and I actually have pulled it up. Where was it? I got so many tabs open right now. I've lost. Did I lose it? Yeah, I might have lost it. No, actually, I think here it is. Yes, it is. Here it is. Okay, now I want to dive into this other clip, which you heard a piece of it there when I clicked on it. But he actually talks about something that's quite interesting. And when you dive deeper, it's like, really? Check it out. I'm going to let the brother take it away.
I have never seen a more potent display of the difference between Republicans and Democrats than what you're about to see.
To not pay the military, to not pay TSA, to not pay air traffic controllers, and to interrupt SNAP benefits for Virginians most in need.
Glenn Youngkin, Republican governor of Virginia.
For benefits like
Watch
SNAP
this.
to run
Pay
out.
attention
so
to
he
this.
says the state will pick up the bill for meal assistance.
The state of Virginia is going to step in and cover the benefits for
Why?
a while. We have the financial resources to do it for a while, not forever.
Meanwhile,
Wow, they have the financial resources to do it. You know why? Because they have all of our revenue. We have sent all of our revenue to Virginia. Their coffers are full with our revenue. Now, compare what Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin is doing. He's going to make sure that those people have SNAP, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background on that. Compare that to Governor Moore. This is Governor Moore, Democrat governor of Maryland, how he's approaching this.
Moore put out a statement. He says the Trump administration hasn't guaranteed states will be reimbursed for covering federal expenses like food benefits, which has been the case during previous shutdowns. The governor says, quote, "We will continue to do everything in our power to ensure the federal government follows the law and provides funding for the critical services that our families, our children, and our veterans rely on."
Now, this is interesting, and I've been telling you this for the longest time. Democrats are not your friends. For those people, oh, the Democrats are helping us. I have been telling you, if you listen to my program, I've been telling you over and over and over again, when you people are like, oh, well, we're going to provide expanded SNAP benefits and we're going to pay your rent and everything. They do that for moments like this. This is why they push those things, because this is leverage. Like the Democrats have explicitly said, this is leverage. And in a case where you have a Republican governor in Virginia, his priority is like, look, these people need these benefits. Let's get them fed. Governor Moore is thinking, how do we blame this on Trump? How do we leverage this? And I think there's another layer to this, by the way. You know, I didn't even get to this. I personally feel like the Democrats are really twisting the knife, and they're mad at black people for not showing up for Kamala Harris. I promise you that's part of this. And so they feel like, oh, well, you guys get the, and you can already see on the people are talking about this. Well, you guys voted for this. They want to make sure this hurts because it's related to Trump. That's the difference between Republicans and Democrats. Republicans generally, now again, I can't speak for all situations, they want to get the job done. The other thing I want to point out here is the fiscal situation. Now, Maryland is in no financial situation to be picking up any tabs. We've pretty much run through the surplus, the $5 billion surplus that Governor Hogan left us with. Westmore turned it into $3 billion deficit. They've barely been able to claw out of that with a ton of taxes and fees that have chased our revenue down to Virginia. This is why forward-thinking executive leadership matters. A Republican governor is going to make sure their people are getting snapped. The Democrat governor is going to make sure you suffer, all so that they can score political points. You decide for yourself what that means.
I thought that was so interesting. So interesting. And so I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. And, you know, I was looking up some of the more recent instances where a Democrat took over from a Republican and they had a surplus and flipped it into a deficit. And 3 instantly popped up. Katie Hobbs in Arizona, okay, she flipped to a deficit. She started off with a $2.5 billion surplus and managed to flip that into a $1 billion deficit. I'm laughing because of how bonkers that absolutely is, bro. And people vote for these folks. You flipped $2.5 billion in excess into a $1 billion deficit. Golly, you can't make this stuff up. Maryland, Okay, Wes Moore, who you just heard in that clip there, right? Wes Moore started off with a $5.5 billion surplus. He swung that into a $3.3 billion deficit. $5.5, I'm going to say that again, because this number's even crazier. $5.5 billion surplus, excess. He managed to flip that into a $3.3 billion deficit. In the hole. Here's one last one. Massachusetts. Healy, Governor Healy, okay? She had a surplus of $525 million. And she managed to flip that into a $600 million deficit. Bro, and Democrats want to lecture us. Oh, you got to vote Democrat. No, the fuck I don't. Democrats don't know how to manage money. You can talk about a city like Chicago. Did you know the city of Chicago doesn't own their parking meters? I was right. Okay, so it says, and I just asked AI, Chicago has sold the rights to its parking meters in the Chicago Skyway Toll Road to foreign investors. They sold the rights to their parking meters for 75 years. They don't even own their parking meters. You know, when you park and you put the money in the little meter thing to make sure you don't get your car isn't towed or whatnot. They sold it for $1.1 billion, bro, for 75 years. 36,000 parking meters in Chicago are owned by somebody else. And they're still in a budget deficit. Oh, man, you can't make this stuff up, bro. You cannot make this stuff up. If you thought Democrats knew how to spend money, well, I mean, I guess they do. They can blow it on just about anything and everything.
Do whatever.
But let's
put some
continue.
information out there for y'all. And I'm not telling you who to vote for. I just want you to hear this information, do whatever you want with it, and then form your opinion afterwards. But to everybody saying this is who y'all voted for, Trump's the reason why all of this is going on with SNAP benefits, government shutdown, this, that, and the third. Democrats are actually the reason why the government is being shut down. Is shut down. They're the ones who has voted no 10 plus times to get the government open back up. SNAP benefits, they voted no. Paying essential workers, they voted no. The Republicans are bringing these bills to pass to pay these things and fund these programs. The Democrats are voting no. Why? To use it as leverage. They want y'all to say it's Trump's fault. That's what they want, to divert the attention off of them, put it on Trump. That way y'all don't even realize that they're not for the people. They're the ones that are the reason all of this is going on. They want Trump to go down in history as the president who has had this huge crisis under his term, when they're the ones who are voting no. But they don't want you to know that. Y'all need to understand, the biggest thing about it is that y'all need to understand that while they're voting no to not fund the SNAP program, not open the government, not pay essential workers, while they're voting no for all of those things, they're still getting paid. So everybody else is suffering, but they're still getting paid. Again, this is leverage because they want Trump to go down in history as the president over this, during his term, to have this huge crisis, when the Democrats are the ones to vote, have been voting no for everything. They just want y'all to continue to blame Trump. That's their goal. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you to switch sides, who to vote for, none of that. I just want you to know the truth and know the information before you go around pointing the finger, because that's what they want you to do. And I'm not the one to fearmonger, but if you got some money, some extra money, you should probably go to the grocery store and load up, because at the rate that this is going right now, November is going to be a wild one.
So many people online are spewing out the facts, man. And I want y'all to take a listen to one of my favorite senators, probably my favorite senator, Senator Kennedy, not the greatest when it comes to hardcore, America first. I will admit that. But this is one guy that I definitely wish was one of my family members of some sort, right? That I would see on Thanksgiving or on the holidays, because man, this guy is hilarious. And I want you guys to take a listen to what Democrats are asking for in order to vote yes on the continuing resolution. Check it out.
We took out, and here's what they want us to put back in. We found that under President Biden, they were spending $3 million for circumcisions and vasectomies in Zambia. We took that out. The Congresswoman says, we're going to shut down government till you put that back in. We found $500,000 of American taxpayer money for electric buses in Rwanda. We found $3.6 million for pastry cooking classes and dance focus groups for male prostitutes in Haiti. I kid you not. I'm not making this up. It was in the budget under President Biden. We took it out. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez in the socialist wing, the loon wing of the Democratic Party, says we're going to shut down government until you put it back in. I'll just read you a few more that we took out. They are demanding we put back in. $6 million for media organizations for the Palestinians. $833,000 for transgender people in Nepal. $300,000 for a pride parade in Lesotho. $882,000 for social media and mentorship in Serbia. $4.2 million. We took it out. The Congresswoman and the socialist wing of their party says we got to put that back in for the open government. $4.2 million for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex people in the Western Balkans and Uganda. I could spend the rest of the afternoon here.
That's what they want to spend our money on. Yep. In order to reopen the government, that's what they want. Now, I've heard some rumors that they've lowered that demand, right? Instead of the 1.5 trillion, now they lowered it to like 20 billion or something like that. Which, hey, listen, if I'm a Republican, I'm not caving to that. I'm not. Kick rocks. Kick rocks. Sign this continuing resolution, and we could talk about something else later. I mean, not really, but, that's what I would say. We ain't got nothing to negotiate, bro. We already passed the big, beautiful bill, all right? We gonna keep things around that exact same kind of, bro, they want... Y'all heard the nonsense they wanted to spend our money on, bro. These people have lost their rabbit-ass mind, man. These folks, they lost it. They've lost it, okay? Anyway, I'm going to let y'all get out of here. Y'all get in the comments and let me know your thoughts and your opinions about all of this. I am happy to see the American people are not buying into this nonsense from the Democrat Party. It is a beautiful thing to see that the lies just no longer work. Stay safe. Peace.